All right. Okay. My name's Chris.
My name's Ziggy, and we are here today in the big city actually, of Auckland City.
Yep.
We just made our way on the ferry from Waiheke Island, and why are we here today?
Oh, we're just here to interview a few people on the streets about how New Zealanders show their love.
Yeah. How does Aotearoa show its aroha? And as big or as complicated of a question that may seem, really we're going to narrow it down by a few questions that we have written down on this little telephone of ours.
Yep.
And yeah, so our aim is to get about 5 to 10 people to agree to have a little interview with us, and hopefully by the end of that, when that's all done, we can have a sit down and talk about what we've learned, talk about what we've heard, and see how we can correlate this all into a wider sense of how does Aroha show itself in New Zealand, and how do we all feel of that as a collective, and kind of see the similarities and differences between the big variety of people that we're going to be working with today.
Exactly.
So yeah, it is raining obviously, and it is a big noisy city, so these things are going to play a big part of our filming today and our audio recording, but hopefully it's all going to go well. And yeah, we'll walk you through every step of the way. First location is Macca's. It's 2:30 and none of us have fucking eaten today. So we're just gonna go down the road and we'll see you there.
Eat them nuggets, man. Keep eating those nuggets. Are you getting an audio recording of you eating the nuggets? Fuck.
Alright, we're out of Macca's now. I'm finishing up some chicken nuggets and we're at our first location. Downtown Auckland, Queen Street Mall. And yeah, I'm gonna eat these nuggets and then see if anyone wants to do an interview with us. What are some times that you feel the most like yourself? Most happy, most alive?
It's funny, because even I was just sitting there eating my pizza,
Yeah.
watching everyone go past.
Yeah.
It makes me think of that, I don't know if you've seen Love Actually, but
Oh, yeah.
the scene
Yeah.
at the start when they're just filming people in the airport, and
Yeah.
it's like real people,
Yeah.
and they're just, there's like couples seeing each other, and families reuniting and stuff. I love people watching like that.
Yeah, just people watching.
Yeah,
That's really
which
cool.
sounds a little creepy, but
No, I understand.
no, I like, kind of feeling that connection.
Yeah.
Watching other people be happy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. What are some things that you like to do when you are feeling like this, like happy? How do you like to share your happiness or your love?
I really love connecting with people. I want to bring people I'm close with up, but also people that I don't know very well. I like to kind of make that connection.
Yeah.
Especially when you can kind of tell that somebody's going through a tough time. It's kind of sharing, being vulnerable, I think, is a really big part of it, right? Like
showing who you really are.
Yeah, because it's one thing being like, hey, I can see you're having a tough time, but it's another thing, I think, when you can share with them, like, look, I've been through stuff myself, and I may not be in the place that you're at right now, but, I know I have a perspective on it.
No, definitely. Next question, kind of swapping the topic a little bit. A lot of people throughout history, in poems, songs, stories, they've always said, I don't know if you know that one song, but loving is the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
You've heard that song?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you agree with that? Do you think it's that straightforward? Or?
No, I don't think it is. I think sometimes it can be really easy. Sometimes it is the easiest thing you can do, and sometimes the easy choice is the loving choice, but that's not always And I think the real test of love is when it's the harder choice.
Yeah.
Especially when the most loving thing is something that might hurt another person in the short term, but in the long term, it's the right thing to do.
No, definitely.
So sometimes it's the hardest thing you can do.
That's a really interesting answer. But what stops you from putting your love into something or feeling that same kind of love for someone? It could be someone or something that you're passionate about, like.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fear. Fear of being vulnerable with somebody and then them not accepting it or them rejecting it. Or being disgusted by it. Or I think that's what holds a lot of people back is that if you expose yourself and show your whole self to somebody and they reject you, it's much, much scarier than anything else, I think. Loving something is putting yourself in a position where you can be hurt. If you're indifferent, it's not going to affect you.
Exactly.
But if you care, then it's going to be painful. And it's not a bad thing. I don't think loving something or caring about something is, I think there's always going to be pain involved. But the pain is kind of what makes it worthwhile in a sense. If it is easy, then there's kind of nothing substantial there, I think. Obviously it shouldn't all be painful, but I think sometimes there are going to be tough times and you need to kind of
definitely
let the love kind of push it through.
So you think putting yourself into something and letting yourself be vulnerable is a big part of loving something or someone. But what do you think that you might look for, or what's really important to you when you are looking for like a loving relationship? Like a big part of that, of a person that you might be looking for, like what do you think is required of them for you to be like ready to put yourself into it?
I think the biggest ones for me are trust, honesty, and mutual respect. And I think as long as those things are there, you can kind of work through a lot. But if you lose one of those things, then it makes it really, is it even worthwhile at that point?
No, that's a really good answer. Trust, honesty, respect. Just holding on to those things. It's not really, I don't think, like a healthy version of a loving relationship without those things.
Exactly.
You have to
like
gain those things before you really are going to like commit to something.
And you have to have self-respect in that as well, right?
Exactly.
Like if you accept something anything less than that, then you are putting yourself in a difficult position. It's just not fair on you.
No, it's not fair on you, and it's not really fair on like your partner if you're not respecting yourself. And, like, then you don't know if you're going to be able to make the right choices and decisions.
It's like what RuPaul says. It's like if you can't love yourself, otherwise you're going to love anybody else. So it's like,
amen to that. What does self-love mean to you?
Making the right choices for myself.
Not necessarily just going, I love myself. No.
Like things like self-care, not just like bubble baths and doing your nails, but making really difficult decisions that are the right ones for you, even if it's going to blow up your life in the short term. Work, just like relationship, friendships. How you operate, what your values are. All of that I think is involved in self-love.
That all goes into self-love.
What
do you think is a level of self-love that not only Auckland but maybe the whole world should be doing a little bit more? What do you think would help out?
It's kind of the opposite of that, but I think connecting with other people is how I've built love for myself. Which I guess is weird in a way, like it's a strange way to build it, but if you appreciate other people, I think you have a natural appreciation for yourself that grows.
You start to appreciate yourself a bit more.
Yeah, I think so.
That makes sense. That gives a lot to think about. So yeah, we talked about like at the start some like what do you like to do when you feel happy, and what do you like to do that makes you happy when you're feeling down? Like I know we talked about listening to music, angry music
Yeah.
when you're feeling mad, and like
Yeah.
sad music when you're feeling sad. Is there something reliable that you know like if I do this, I'll feel a little bit better?
Yeah, that's you know, if I can't get a hold of my friends, if I'm really low by myself, I take my dogs to the beach and I just walk along the beach. And it's almost better if the weather is terrible, you know? It kind of just makes you feel a little bit more human, and a little bit more alive.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a really good answer. Thank you, Sophie, for all your help so far. Like to kick it off by. Next location, the viaduct, the harbor area with all the boats, right down the road from the ferry. And I don't know, we went around the mall and that didn't really work, so we're just going over there now. But fucking look at that, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, like I said, I'm Chris, this is Ziggy. And what are you guys' names? Michelle and Dave? Alright, lovely. I hope you guys are having a good day too. First question, just to break the ice. What is your favorite love song at the moment?
DJ Tiesto.
DJ Tiesto? Is that a song?
No, he's a DJ.
That makes sense. Okay, second question. When do you feel most happy?
Most of the time. Yeah.
Is there something that you used to think about love that you don't anymore? Something that you used to believe about love, but now you realize that's not really how it is?
If anything, I just understood it more. No, nothing that I thought this was it, and it isn't.
Yeah.
I'm going to say to this, I'll say it. Love isn't easy.
As it started to get dark, we realized it just wasn't feeling right. No one wanted to get interviewed, and the ones that we already did not have the passion or substance that we wanted. If we were to continue, we would not have made the piece that we were trying to create. So, we called the boat back home, and on the way, we talked through a new plan.
Okay, we're back on the island, back in the sunshine. It's a really nice day today, and I am here with our English teacher who is facilitating this whole documentary. And Avi, I have a couple questions I would like to ask you about love.
Wow, alright, fire away.
Alright, so first question. What is your favorite love song at the moment?
Oh, my favourite love song, what a great question. You know,
A lot of songs.
we have a newborn,
Yeah.
and we're both really tired at the moment,
Yeah.
and we discovered this playlist called the Ramdas playlist. It's like a really beautiful, calming playlist.
Ramdas.
Yeah. And there's a song on it that's just like a chant, like love is love is love.
Oh,
And it's
really?
like kind of like really vibey and
Oh, wow.
yeah, when you need kind of like a grounding, a come down,
Yeah.
that's like my go-to at the
Oh,
moment.
wow. That's a really good answer. So,
Yeah.
is it instrumental or is it more
It's kind of like a chant, like a
vibration?
mindful chant.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
And I found it really helpful just to ground and center it
Feel a
and
bit
things
more
feel
connected.
really crazy around.
That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you feel like there's a big correlation between how you feel or express love with music and sound?
Oh, totally. I mean, that's why there's so many songs about heartbreak
Yeah.
and about falling in love
Yeah.
and falling in lust and feeling hurt, you
Yeah.
know, because it's such
Of
a
course.
universal human experience.
Yeah.
And it's some of the most heightened, I guess, that we feel. And so that's why when we're kind of feeling sad and feeling heartbroken, we listen to Adele or Bon Iver
Yeah.
or, you know, this kind of sad music that
Yeah.
speaks to how we're feeling. So I think there is a strong correlation between the music you listen to and how you're feeling, especially when it comes to the subject. Yeah, and sometimes it can really push you into the place you need to go,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. So, second question, kind of going back a little bit about how we were talking about how all these songs throughout history, poems, songs, stories, they've talked about love, and in a lot of them they've said, like, I don't know if you know that song, love, it's the easiest thing to do, do 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 do. But love being easy, being the easiest thing to do, how do you feel about that? Do you agree with that?
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think it can be one of the hardest things to
Yeah.
do. What I found interesting was when someone told me once that love is a choice. So it's like a feeling, of course, but the choice to love someone. I'm going to
Yeah.
choose to love someone. That I think there's some truth in that. Perhaps it is easy for some people to just open themselves and love. And there is some love, like the love that I have, I guess, for my kids,
Yeah.
which is this really pure, easy
Yeah.
love. Of course
You
it's
don't
easy.
choose.
Although it is hard too, because even
Yeah.
through all the screamo and shitty nappies
Yeah.
and sleepless nights, we still love them,
Yeah.
you know? But love is the easiest thing to do. Man, I think that's not true at all.
Say you choose to love someone, but a lot of the time it's not something that you can choose, right? Like you may love your friend, though it pisses you off so much, you don't choose to love him. You love him because he's your friend, and it's like certain obligations of love. Do you feel like there's some obligations of love?
Obligations? No, I don't think so, because I think love can be really messy.
Yeah.
And people express love in a great number of ways. People who punch walls and break things and throw things, that could be from a place of love,
Yeah.
you know? And so yes, you're obliged to treat people kindly, and you know, you're obliged to
Yeah.
kind of treat them with love and respect, but it doesn't always work that way.
Yeah.
People, love is linked to a lot of different emotions.
Yeah.
It's linked to fear, it's linked to shame, it's linked to anger, you know? So the obligations on how to love, that's one form of love, but I think it's such a complex emotion that it doesn't come with a handbook on how to act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no rules to love.
No, I don't think so. At least I don't think there should be. If the love that you're feeling isn't hurting yourself or hurting another person. But also, I keep on having all these little asides
Yeah.
because hurt is kind of intrinsically linked to love.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you love something so much,
Yeah.
then you're vulnerable enough to feel hurt.
And I think that goes back to fear as well, as we were talking about. What do you think you fear, or what do you think there is to fear about love? Letting yourself open.
Yeah, I think there's the fear of being seen, of distrusting yourself maybe, and your kind of family trauma or what you're bringing in, fear of judgment,
Yeah.
fear of societal expectation, fear of being hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to fear when you open yourself up to love.
What do you think you look for, not just within yourself, but within a loving relationship? What do you think is something to aspire to, something
I think
that
it
should be contributed, maybe?
Someone who loves you for who you are and sees you for who you are and loves you. This sounds all very cliche, but loves you for your flaws as well, and you in your entirety, because we're imperfect creatures.
Yeah.
And so someone you feel safe enough with to be your most authentic self and feel loved in that space.
Referring back to a previous interview, we talked with Mr. Carroll, and he had a lot to say about how love can come with a lot of sacrifices, and sometimes you have to just make agreements. What is it? Compromise. And do you think that is a big part of love as well, just to accept?
Yeah, I think, like I mentioned earlier, that kind of choice to love, it comes with or can come with a sense of loss.
We were talking about sacrifice, and to finish that up quickly, I just thought that I might ask what do you think that you have to give when it comes to this kind of idea of sacrifice with love? It's just compromise.
Well, I think with any sort of choice that you make, it comes with a sense of loss of all the other choices that you're not making.
Yeah.
Whether that's in my life to pursue teaching, or come back to New Zealand, or move away again, or do this degree, or whatever, every choice I feel like comes with a sense of loss for the choices you're not making.
Yeah.
So I think the same is with love. You're choosing to love something or someone, and with that comes a loss of the person that you were before you loved that person. So maybe it's a loss of feeling like independence and freedom, or maybe it's a loss of it's hard to say, because you gain so much more, than you lose, and perhaps loss is the wrong word, but there is I guess a grieving.
There's a change
for things that you've whenever there's change, there's grieving that comes with that change, even if it's the best change ever. There's still something that you're kind of changing from.
What in your life so far do you think that you are the most thankful for?
Apart from like breath and functioning of all my limbs and eyes and taste and smell, and
big question.
that my family is all alive and here.
Good to include all of those things.
I think I'd have to say my wife. She kind of has taught me so much about myself, and she's the reason why I'm here in this really grounded, beautiful place in my life. She kind of ushered me here. So I'm really grateful to her for that.
That's really sweet. Maybe Mrs. Ducker Jones will be watching this.
Maybe.
If we get it out there. Alright, well, thank you so much for your time today. I have one more question. Can you yell "I love you" into the camera?
I love you!
Alright. Alright.
Dread shine your light, so a child may follow. Oh, many have been lost along the way, until tonight turns into tomorrow. Oh, teach them to be careful while at play. Ain't nothing wrong with having fun. Don't let the system tame you. That's just a part of being young. Even though they're quick to blame you and picking on you like a plum. Just because your dream became true, now look what they've become. In open sight and plain view, they've already had a run. So meanwhile they try to change you. It ain't over till it's done. So please remain the same you. Hey young world,